All right, hello everyone. Welcome to part 3 of Mathpix in React. So in this part, we're actually going to start looking at Mathpix um, and actually utilize the API inside of our React application. So to begin, we can go to the mathpix.com and we are going to create a free account. So as you can pretty much see, Mathpix is basically an API that takes an image and it can basically process that image and understand it well enough to then spit back out text or other things like LaTeX or Markdown languages. So from here, just sign up for a free account. And when you do, you're going to have to accept their terms and conditions to get your API keys. Because basically, what you want from here is you're going to want this app ID and this app key inside of our request headers once we start making a fetch request in our front end. So to begin, um, just make sure that you accept this and you'll get those app key and app ID. But I already have some from another account, so we're not going to be doing that here. So from here, we actually don't need this image anymore. And we are going to no longer this dot set state, this base 64, because right here we're going to start fetching, right? So we want to fetch to this endpoint, which is https api.mathpix.com /v3/text, and we are going to say the method that we want to use during this fetch is a post request. So we're going to put that down here, and we're going to say the headers we want are going to be the 3 that were noted here. I noticed that whenever I actually do make post requests towards this, you don't actually need the app, what is it, the app ID, or is it the app key? It's the app ID. So realistically, we're just going to say content type here and application JSON, and then we're just going to say app key. And do note, I'm not going to show you guys what my app key is because that is not best practice. So pretty much putting an application key or something like this in the front end is not best practice. So the way that you usually do it is you would store this app key somewhere server side or do this type of request in the back end. But since this is just a tutorial, honestly, it doesn't really matter too much to me since this is not in any practical use. So fine by me, but I'm going to add this later on. And so from here, after the headers, we want the body, and we're going to say JSON.stringify this body. And we're going to say now source here, and we're going to say the base 64 string is our source. And so how do we know what to put inside of body? Similar to how did we know what to put into headers? So we knew what to put into headers because of this, and we know what to put into the body because of this. So source is the path to the picture, right? So in this case, this is the limit.jpg here. In our case, since we have the base 64 string, all we need to do is just say source is base 64 string, right? And then from here, we can say we want the formats, which in this case, text is the format in which provides back a piece, basically this large string right here. HTML also provides HTML string that we can use for whatever purposes, and then data is used to provide this ASCII math data and this LaTeX data. And data options right here says to include ASCII math to be true and include LaTeX to be true as well. And so if we want to put other data options inside of this, we can also say include SVG. We could say include table HTML. We could say include TSV, and so on and so forth. But so in this case, we're just going to say probably just include LaTeX and include ASCII math for the sake of it. So we're going to say formats. We're going to have an array of text, data, and HTML, similar to what we saw down there. And we're going to say data options. And this is an object, which now says to include ASCII math to be true and include LaTeX to be true. So we're going to say we want both those things and so on and so forth. And that should be it, other than the app key. And then we're going to say after we've actually fetch a post request to this endpoint, we're then going to say then we're going to get a response, and we want this response to become a JSON string, right? And then we're just going to say we want this same response that became a JSON string, and we want it to just get console.logged to our console. So real quick, let me just look at this stuff real quick. I'm actually going to remove this. And so looks good to me. Let's see if everything compiles correctly. It does. And so if I actually start to do this, if I get example here, and if I drop it on top of the drop zone, oh, and we get a 401 because we have invalid credentials. So let me just add the app ID real quick, or rather the app key, sorry. All right, so let's just refresh this page so we can get rid of all that stuff here. So console is empty. Now we can take this example.png right here, and we are going to drop it on top of this. It's going to give us back this response. And as you can see, if we look at this, it gives us an object with a bunch of stuff in it. So as you can see, text is this one thing right here. It gives us a request ID. It even gives us a Boolean of, was this printed or was it handwritten? In this case, it knows that it was handwritten. Here's some HTML, confidence and confidence rate. So that's basically Mathpix saying how confident they are about the data that they give back to us. And then auto rotate confidence and auto rotate degrees is some new stuff that they added in. That's not really important right now. And then in data, there is an array of two objects. First of type ASCII math with a value of 16 minus 2t equals 5t plus 9. And LaTeX down here as well, pretty much the same thing. And if we were actually to compare this to that, we can see that this value is exactly the same. So as you can see, Mathpix got what we wanted exactly right. And now from this image onto this application, and now to the front end on this piece of text, or rather this ASCII math inside of this object, we now have this value, and we can actually use it for a bunch of things. And so in next episode, we're actually going to start using this and play around with it. Specifically, I want to see how this ends up looking like when I put this inside of another API called Math Steps, and we're going to see how that works for us. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the episode. So thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Please hit the the bell, and see you guys later.